Sometimes the appearance of 3D layers can be deceptive. For example, a layer might appear to be scaling smaller along its X and Y axes when it's actually moving along the Z. You can't always tell from the default view in the composition panel. The Select View Layout pop-up menu at the bottom of the composition panel lets you divide the panel into different views so you can see your work from multiple angles. So what we're going to do, at the bottom of the composition panel, mine is right here where it says one view. We're going to click that and select 4 views, and voila. With the 4 views selected, the upper left quadrant displays the scene from the top, so it just looks like a rectangle because that's all you see. You see the Z-axis. You can see that it has depth, but it just looks like a rectangle. Lower quadrant shows the view from the front. The upper right displays what the camera sees, but because there's no camera in the scene, it's the same as the front view, which you see right down here on the left. So, click the front view to make it active. And the way you know it's active, you see these little blue triangles. That's how you know it's active. And then from the 3D pop-up menu, which is right here, click that arrow, and we're going to change it to Custom View 3. It sees the scene from a different perspective. From this definition, you can see more definition in the extrusion. It can help you align elements more accurate, view how they're interacting with other layers, and how objects, lights, and cameras are positioned in 3D space. So select the Orbit Around Cursor tool in the Tools panel. That's this little weird looking tool right here. And then just drag it across this. See what it does. I just spun it backwards. And then select the Pan Under Cursor tool, that's this one here, and drag across so you can see what it does. It takes it a second to do whatever it's doing. Then the Dolly Towards Cursor tool, which is this one right here, and drag that across. And it just different ways to view effects. As you use the camera tools, the view in each of the other windows is unchanged. So you see none of these other things changed. And the layers haven't moved, only your perspective of them has changed. It's as if you were Peter Pan flying around the stage and viewing the scene from different angles. You've seen that you can view a 3D scene from different perspectives. You can also view 3D layers from various angles and distances using layers called cameras. When you set a camera view for your composition, you look at the layers as though you were looking through a camera. So for this project, we're going to create a custom camera. So let's clean this up and get all our layers. And then make sure everything's deselected. And then choose Layer. And then New. And then Camera. In the camera settings dialog box, choose 20 millimeters from the preset. Right now it's at 50, so change that to 20. And then click OK. The Camera 1 layer appears at the top of the layer stack in the timeline panel. And you see there's a little camera icon next to it. And the composition panel updates to reflect the new camera's perspective. The view should change slightly because the 20 millimeter preset shows a wider field of view than the default. So, change your views from 4 views to 2 views. And then we're going to change the view on the active camera to right. To make sure, hang on, change the view on the left. Oh, that's right. Let me change this back to active cameras on the top. I want this one on the left, make that, so I want you to have your active camera here. This one right here, we want it to be right. So there we go. So active camera, I didn't have that selected at the beginning. Yes, I messed up, for those of you that say I always messed up. So active camera here and right view here. Like light layers, camera layers have a point of interest that can be used to determine what the camera looks at. By default, the camera's point of interest is the center of the composition. That's where the logo currently is, so that point of interest works well. Make sure the current timeline indicator is at the end of that, end of the ruler. Select the camera 1 layer, press P, and then that reveals the position property. Create an initial keyframe by clicking this little stopwatch. Go to 108. It's where the leaves are tumbling around the screen. Change the position values. So this one is going to be minus 2000, tab, 2000, tab, minus 2000, press enter. The camera starts at an angle to the logo and is farther away than it will be in the final view. The camera will move around the logo so that it appears the logo itself is spinning into position. It's much easier to animate the camera than to coordinate the movements of all 4 3D layers in the logo. So right click or the second position keyframe. So over here on the far right, we're going to right click, choose keyframe assistant, and then easy ease in. That one. Hide the position property for the layer, camera 1 layer. Still at 108, you should still be at 108. We're going to hold down the shift, hang on, select the media layer, hold down shift and select the last leaf layer. Press Alt and then the left bracket. Alt, left bracket. And that sets the endpoint for the selected layers. Select the camera 1 layer. And same thing, we're going to Alt and then left bracket. And that sets its endpoint as well. Press the home key and that will move you to the beginning of the timeline. Press the space bar to preview the animation, and when you're done, press the space bar again. Takes it a while the first time, and then it gets much smoother after everything loads. While we're waiting, I could sing a song for you, but it would probably cause some of your ears to bleed, so I won't do that. You're welcome. Or I could tell you a joke, except I don't know any. Or we could just sit here with awkward silence. I hear crickets. Oh, there we go. So once it's done, just press the space bar to end it, and then let's click File and Save.